Welcome back, everybody, to episode 33 of the TalkBall Tweakers podcast. Our new format, which is virtual, because we were all over the world. Obviously, Jake is not here, as you can see, because he is all over the world as well. Where is he at? Gainesville?
Gainesville. I play in Gainesville.
Yeah, he's in Gainesville right now, watching the Gators. So yeah, it's an adjustment, but we'll get to it. It's whatever. I'm not in Michigan anymore. I'm in New York for a job. So we are officially like all in different states. Um, so yeah, Tui, how we feeling?
Feel pretty good. NFL, big stuff to talk about. I don't think we're gonna get to college football because time of recording, there's games going on right now. But
Yeah.
it was some big stuff that's happened in the last 2 weeks. Uh, we might touch on a few college football things, aka James Franklin. Maybe we should check on that. That's pretty big news. Yeah, feel pretty good.
Yeah. Good. That's
And
good.
and I got and I gotta say, just I know we don't talk baseball, but I've been watching a little bit of baseball because I'm a baseball enthusiast. So my tweak of the week is gonna involve some baseball. I got a rant to give.
Dog, I don't even want to talk about baseball right now. After that 15 inning game, bro, I haven't watched a lick of baseball.
What
Um,
makes it worse is just like Tigers are gonna lose school, and because our owner's cheap, he doesn't want to pay him. And I promise you, if the Dodgers offer that man half a billion dollars, and he goes to the Dodgers, I'm not watching baseball anymore.
yeah,
So
no. They're gonna ruin baseball. Dave Roberts said we got four more to win, and then we're gonna ruin baseball. So
I really ooh. Foreshadowing for tweaker of the week.
that's crazy work. Crazy work.
The nerve of him to say that after all of that was real foul. That was real. I'm sorry, that was bold and foul.
No,
You
no,
just won the pennant. Relax.
no, for real. Lockout is incoming. So yeah, we'll start with let's just get college football out the way because I'm actually watching it right now. Arizona State just beat Texas Tech, which is crazy. They're storming the
Sam
field.
Levitt came back. That's what happened because they had Jeff Sims, who's doodle garbage
Yep.
last week.
Yep.
So
But yeah, we're not going to talk much about this week, obviously, because the games are going on right now. But let's talk about James Franklin. James Franklin in Penn State, obviously, parting ways. Really, not really a part of ways though. He got fired, got canned.
got cat.
Um, just
and who captain? Who put the final nail in the coffin? Western. That's
yeah,
sorry. Look at that Northwestern football. I know Purdue's bad, but
oh,
2 straight wins.
say go Cats.
Okay.
Yeah, thoughts on the James Franklin firing?
It's unfortunate. I mean, he's a good head coach, but this is what happens when you can't win the big game, and it goes downhill. Like you're paid millions of dollars. You're one of the best. You're one of the best institutions football wise. You have one of the best rosters NIL wise. You have some of the best talent country wise, and losing a double overtime game ending pick to Oregon at home. Number one, you can't really lose that game. That shouldn't have been a loss. But it's understandable. Oregon is a top school, has been for the last couple of years on the Dan Landing. But then you just can't go to UCLA after they fired their head coach and haven't won a single game, and they hang 40 plus on you. That was bad. Like that just showed that there was no fight. And then for you to be at home to lose to Northwestern, he beats Northwestern by 17-20. He still has his job, right? And so that's what happens when you can't win the big games, when that's the narrative, and you're kind of hanging on to that, in terms of we get to the college playoffs every year. We're a top school, and then you have a 3 game skid, 2 of which you shouldn't have lost, and it's just bad. I mean, I don't agree with just firing coaches midseason, but the fans called for it, the boosters probably called for it. Can't justify 3-3 after going 13-3, and then Aller has season-ending injuries, so it's all bad for Penn State. But it really begs the question to see who they're going to go after next. I know people put Kirk Cignetti, he signed an extension. Matt Rule, who he probably crossed his name out after last night.
Yeah,
you
no,
let
for
Max,
real.
you let Max Brosmer in Minnesota walk all over you. So
Yeah.
he probably won't get the job. It'll be interesting to see who they go with. Can't be a first time head coach, but he
No.
was on College Game Day today, and so I felt bad for him a little bit. You know.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
crazier before I turn it off. Crazier is his contract. I don't know if people heard about his contract. They in his contract they said you have to look for a job, and if you get that job and it gets paid more than $8 million annually, which is what they're going to pay him every year, we pay the difference. So if he goes and gets a job and he gets paid $11 million, Penn State only has to pay him $3 million, and they're basically forcing him. They're like, "Hey, you can't sit on your ass. You got to go get a job, buddy. Job. You can't be unemployed. You ain't collecting benefits from us."
God, that is the craziest clause I've ever seen in a contract is like, no, like your ass better be working. Like you're not about to be unemployed out here. Like that's crazy
He said,
work.
"If it ain't for us, it's for somebody."
That's crazy work. My thoughts on it is, I mean, it's similar. Like you, here's my thing is like the big games, losing those, like it wasn't even, it really at the end of the day, it didn't really come down to that. Like just losing big games. I think a lot of people centralize it as he can't win the big games. Why is he still a head coach? But it's like, losing that game to Oregon in double overtime, if they would have beat UCLA, beat Northwestern, like he'd be coaching today. Like so it's like I don't know. I think losing the big games is unfortunate, but you do look at like what he's done recently. I mean, he was what a Drew Aller interception away from being in the national championship game. Like I don't know. I think after watching it on College Game Day today, the interview, I had felt a little like, damn, like it does that does kind of suck for him. Um, because it's like, wow, I mean, why not keep giving him a shot? But it's like you can't lose to UCLA, who's one of the worst teams in college football, and then you lose to Northwestern, who has just been a terrible football program like in history. So
Yeah, forever.
like forever. So
Forever.
you just can't do that. So I think at the end of the day, at some point there was going to be a split between James Franklin and Penn State. Within whether it was after this year, next year, or the following year, it was going to be within the next couple of years. Um, so I think it was inevitable at the end of the day for them splitting. So in terms of the candidates, though, I want to talk about that a little bit. I don't understand why people are saying Matt Rule. I really
It's
don't
because
understand it.
it's because his Temple run, and because of his where else do he was somewhere else. It was Temple and somewhere else. And they were like, "Oh, he's got to be a great college coach because of those runs 5 years ago."
People are holding on to that temple run by like there's like with their last fingers, like holding on to that temple run for Matt Rule. I mean, he's been at Nebraska, and you know, you look at Nebraska, what they've been since uh
Late
2000.
'90s, yes,
I,
early
I'd say
2000s.
I mean, like late 90s, they were elite though. It was like really once
Yeah,
it the 2000s, like late 2000s, it's just been a plummeting um program. But so I give him like the benefit of the doubt right there, but it's still like they're acting like he's had Nebraska in the top 10 every single week of
and he's had shots at staying in the top 20, like staying ranked. He's had opportunities, and every
absolutely.
single time they get ranked, they become unranked the following week.
Exactly.
And it's what happened this week. Yet last night they had 9 sacks, or Minnesota had 9 sacks on them. We're talking about Max Brosmer in Minnesota. Minnesota. I don't know when Minnesota's been good at football. And
Exactly.
you're ranked top 25. He had a 2024 Aaron Rodgers, 2023. Like,
Exactly. Exactly.
done.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah, the Matt Rule. I don't understand it. Obviously, a lot of people want to entertain Nick Saban. Nick Saban's not coming back to college football. It's just not happening. Not with the new state of where we're at with college football. This whole players, the transfer portal. Saban's not putting up with that shit. That's why he left.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that is
And of
why
all
he left.
places, you think he's gonna come right behind in Penn State?
No.
Like, who in their right mind would see Nick Saban at Penn State though, as
No,
well? Like,
absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, yeah, no, like you said though, it can't be a first year head coach. Obviously, they're gonna have to go get an experienced guy. I mean, like off of the top of my head, do I know any candidates? No, not really.
you
I
know who I thought of
maybe
today?
Urban Meyer would be interested in it.
You know
Because
who I thought of other than Urban Meyer? The, I mean, it's so, and it wouldn't be a bad job. Now I think Diego Pavia is the running force behind Vanderbilt. Their coach isn't that bad.
Clark Lay.
Clark Lay, he's not that bad. He's not a bad coach.
I seen someone throw that name out there on Twitter and I actually loved it. Um, I watched did you watch the SEC football documentary on Netflix?
No, I didn't see it.
You got to go watch it because they feature Vanderbilt in there a good amount of times. And I remember I was telling you about it when we went to NABJ, how it was like just basically they were like basically featuring different programs within all the episodes, but they featured Vanderbilt in there. I think like most of their episodes had Vanderbilt in there. Clark Lay is a hell of a head coach, man. He is.
Good.
He is. He's very good.
I mean,
Um,
they just took down LSU today.
exactly. Like what Vanderbilt has done the past 2 years, what he's built there at Vanderbilt is insane. It's it's
I
insane. So
mean, they
he
could
would be a
one ball lead to
really
another. It would work.
exactly, exactly, and that's what like you see what he's doing at Vanderbilt. Like
Yeah,
imagine that's what I like about a lot of head coaches in college football is analyzing what they've done at smaller schools, and then you go get them to a bigger school. Obviously, it's different with Matt Rule because he's not doing it again. So, but anyone who's been unproven, hasn't been to a big perennial program, I would like to see what he does there. So that would be a really, really good candidate. But yeah, just
I,
took that LSU today. That was a huge win for them.
I also thought about Eli Drinkwitz, at
Yeah,
Missouri.
I entertained it, but it's like I think Missouri, I feel like he's in a similar situation as James Franklin. I mean, you think about they were good, what, like 2 years ago? They were really
True,
good. Um, and they lost a huge, huge game that knocked them out of the playoff. So
it's
it's like
true. I
I
mean, it's
just
hard to compete in the SEC when you're in Missouri.
and
You
then they
know,
just lose to Bama last week. They played Bama very tough. They did. They played Bama very well.
I
But
mean, you can't fault him when Bama was coming off a win against Georgia, and it's like, how are we gonna take down the team
that
that
is
beat
true
Georgia
though.
in Georgia's house?
Yes, absolutely. The momentum there was, yeah, of course. Yeah, I would, I guess with Drinkwitz, I just don't know, man. I don't know how I like.
I don't think he would be a top candidate. I think he
No,
would. I think also he'd want to stay at Missouri.
for sure.
Um, they 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 got some good players out there, and I think if he moved, there would be a little bit of a shift. It's not like he's going up, but it's not like he's necessarily like taking a big step up because he's still doing a good job at Missouri.
For sure.
Whereas Vanderbilt, Clark Lane is like, it's Vanderbilt, so historically they're not. And once Pavia is gone, you don't know what you're getting with the
Exactly.
next guy who's coming in through Clark Lane. So
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, I think the Penn State search, obviously, it's going to be interesting. It's going to take a while. It is because they're still in the middle of the season. It's going to take a minute. Um, so
I mean, they got a lot of time. They're not playing for nothing now.
no, Drew Aller's done. They're 3-3. They're cooked. Like they're
Cooked.
cooked. So yeah. Anything else college football?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I just got to give a shout out to Kirk Signetti. 2 weeks ago, he went into Oregon and beat Oregon. Didn't think that was even possible. I thought they were one of those faulty contenders that was like, they're ranked because they're beating a bunch of teams.
Exactly.
But Fernando Mendoza is at the top of the Heisman list right now, and they went into Oregon, and he made Dante Moore look a little pedestrian at times.
Okay.
Off the defense did so. He's a really good coach, and I gotta admire him too because he backed it up. As soon as he got hired, he said, I win. He said,
I
look,
win.
Google me,
I
I win.
win. Google me. Google me.
So,
Yeah, no. Shout out to Sig. He is a hell of a coach. I love everything he's about. Like, I win. Google me. That's so cold. That's so
and
cold.
he's backing it up too. A lot of coaches
Like,
say that, and they're
that's
like, and he's doing that in Indiana too. This ain't taking over for Nick Saban at Alabama. This is I'm coming in here and I'm building something.
yeah, no, Indiana. It's crazy. So yeah, shout out to Sig. I like that shout out. So yeah, let's switch gears. Let's move over to the NFL. We start with obviously looking at reactions of last week, the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's start that one off because that was Thursday night football. Losing a what you would think a very predictable game, a very easily predictable game, and the Giants just smoked them. And that
Wasn't even close.
wasn't even close. Just yeah, I mean, when you look at this Eagles team, what are you seeing are the huge issues right now? And also, I want to ask, what are you projecting for them this year?
Well, number one, they uh the problem is the OC, like just flat out. We all know it's Kevin Patullo. I mean,
Yeah.
if Kellen Moore can get you to the Super Bowl with a high flying offense, the way that they did last year, you come in after him and this is your performance,
Yeah.
but you're going to be a quality control assistant next year for the Dolphins. You're getting a demotion, buddy. You're not becoming OC elsewhere.
Oh,
You might as well be a grad assistant again. It's just bad. Like, here's the thing: Saquon is not Saquon, but a lot of it has to do with the fact that teams are literally telling you we're stopping the run. Like
yeah.
teams, week after week, players have said what we're going to do is stop the run. They said that to the media. They put it online. They've given you the blueprint to
Yeah.
okay, now we have to throw the football. Jalen Hurts is obviously not a great thrower of the football. He's a great quarterback. He knows how to win in different ways, but he's not a great thrower. So you have to scheme for him when that happens. You have to scheme to get guys open. You can't just say, "Well, we're paying you all this money, throw the football at a perfect spot to
Mhm.
Devontae Smith or AJ
Yep.
Brown." That's not how it works. You have to scheme guys open, especially as the OC. I just see no creativity. There's like zero creativity.
There's
They
not.
don't they don't do anything but just do go routes. AJ Brown get open. Devontae Smith go deep. And so that doesn't work. And the other thing that I have to say is that I don't think their offensive line is the same. Lane Johnson's been hurt from time to time, been in and out. Jordan Mayava, I like him, but I've seen him regress just a little bit. He's not the same. It's not as dominant as it was last year or
Yeah.
in the years past. So if Hurts isn't like Lamar Jackson where he's like slippery, he can dodge attack. He's bulky. So he can run the football and he can bounce off of tackles, but he's not gonna make 4 or 5 guys miss and pick up the first down.
Yep.
Right? He's gonna take a hit and keep going. That's the type of runner he is. So you gotta know you gotta know your players, you gotta know your weapons. I just feel like he has done none of that. And so he keeps getting in front of the mic, he keeps saying, well, we're gonna win anyway, we need to win. The teams are telling you that they're forcing you to throw the ball. Period, point blank. So simple.
Oh
They're
yeah.
telling you we're going to stack the box.
Absolutely.
Saquon's only getting a few yards per carry. And they're like, well, we'll just put our best corner on AJ Brown, and you're not doing anything offensively, so we're just going to stop you. And then that affects the defense. The defense is like, well, they're not going to score. We can't keep holding teams off time after time after game. It's like 3 and out. Okay, the defense has to come back out. And everyone knows when the defense plays for longer, they get more tired, and the defense breaks down. And then that's how you get the New York Giants to score 34. Like, the Giants haven't been good in a long time.
Yep.
And they got Anakin Skywalker and CTE man out there dropping 34 on your head.
Exactly.
So, so like you gotta tighten it up. I mean, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Look at plays from Ben Johnson, Mike McDaniel, Kyle Shanahan. Take some plays for some guys who have been elite at this stuff. I mean, it's like I feel like it's just an ego thing at this point where he's like, "Well, we're gonna win my way, and I'm the OC." Bro, take a page out of people who've been successful as OCs. Have some creativity. Have the weapons. I'm pretty sure, apart from the Lions' offensive coordinator, Morton, any OC in the league would be thrilled. They would swap positions with you in terms of the weapons you have. Apart
Oh,
from the Lions, anybody would switch positions
a
in terms of
lot
the
of a
weapons.
lot of people.
So what you're doing is just wasting talent,
Yeah.
just flat out.
Yeah.
And so, in terms of expectations, if Patullo's the OC and they don't fire him mid-season, they're not winning the Super Bowl. They're not even getting back to the Super Bowl. They're going to get flattened by Tampa or Detroit or Green Bay. There's a lot of teams that at this specific moment in the NFC are before them because of how they've been playing the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think obviously overall, Kevin Patullo has been probably the biggest fault. Um, like you mentioned, their offense very predictable. It's very vanilla. They're not throwing the ball deep at all, and that's allowing defenses to just be able to stack the box. Because they know why would they have to play high on the Eagles? They're not throwing the ball, and they're not throwing the ball effectively down the field or deep at all. There's no point
Bad.
to play high against the Eagles. So when you're a defense, it's like, okay, let's go stack the box. Let's have three linebackers. Let's, one safety up top because they're not throwing it back there. And then that messes up your run game. So now your run game's getting affected because you don't know how to be creative enough with your pass plays in your passing game to throw the ball deep and utilize your guys who are
Yep.
elite at what they do. One of the best wide receiver groups in the NFL. And you can't find success in the passing game. So um, it's a trickle effect. It really is. It's a trickle effect, and it's been because of Kevin Patullo's lack of creativeness with his offense. Now the Giants game though, I don't think it was Kevin Patullo's fault. I actually, um, at the end of the day, I'm going to put this on Jalen Hurts. I'm going to put this on their defense. Their defense was not physical at all. Their defense came
Yep.
out there and did not want to hit anybody. Keely Ringo literally got burnt by Wandale Robinson and just stood there while he went to the ground untouched. Buddy, you have to touch him so that he's down. He's just standing there like, oh damn, I got burnt. Buddy,
Bro, he
touch
got Bradbury
no one.
clones all over the
You didn't
field.
touch him. He caught the ball and went to the ground. You didn't touch him. He got back up and ran for like 3 more yards. Like you got to touch him.
They
So
got Bradbury clones all over the field.
exactly. Like that's so like it was frustrating watching that game because their defense was just not hitting anybody. Zach Vaughn got lifted off of his 2 feet, getting trucked by Cam Scatterbo. Like he got lifted off of his 2 feet. One of the best linebackers in the NFL got lifted off both feet.
I'm not gonna lie, you gotta give him a pass that. Scatterboo is insane.
I will, but bro, like, come on. Like,
Scatterboo will literally lower his shoulder into a brick wall. Have you seen that video of him doing that in college?
see my, oh yeah, no, he's insane for
He just
sure.
started ramming into a brick wall before a game in college, and buddy,
No,
you're
100%.
brave.
100%. But it was just for me, it was just what frustrated me with that was just it was all night. And then it was also like they couldn't even tackle Jackson Dart. Like Jackson Dart was in and out of that pocket, scrambling, going wherever he wanted. And that was the issue for me. Adoree Jackson on a Scam Gatabo touchdown. Adoree Jackson came and literally just tried to put one shoulder into him. Buddy, you're trying to tackle Cam Scatabo and you're trying to just put one shoulder into him. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
That's a
So,
valid point. There was also that interception that Hurts had where
so
he had AJ Brown on a slant over the middle, and it was like tailor made to AJ Brown, and he threw it to I think it was Devontae Smith, and the he telegraphed it. He was looking directly at him, and the DB jumped it and took it 80 yards.
that's exactly what I was talking about. That interception, especially in that situation right there, they're driving down the field. I believe they were trying to make it a one-score game at that point. And that just killed all their momentum. Like
Terrible
you
interception.
go down, you score there, and you get momentum, make it a one-score game, you have life. You have a chance. And he telegraphed the hell out of that pass. AJ Brown was open in the end zone.
Why? Like there was no safety help, one on one. He
Open,
burnt his man,
open,
slant over the middle.
open. You have to make those throws. Like you absolutely have to make those throws.
Yeah,
And,
why not? Why
and
would
then
you not look at your number one receiver for the end zone on the first read? That's
exactly.
my
And then you think about I think it was coming right out of halftime that the overthrow to Devontae Smith. That would have been an 80-yard touchdown for them coming out of half. That would have tied the game for them coming out of halftime. And that's all the momentum you need right there. And
yeah,
you overthrow Devontae. Like you got to make that throw right there. Absolutely
yeah.
have to make that throw.
I
So
think he's a little off just because of everything. I
yeah, I think
I think just because of everything, he came in there and he felt off, and they
yeah,
weren't scheming guys open. Obviously, you can't make those mistakes as a top quarterback and highly paid like that. But
yeah, no, no. So um yeah, I mean I think really though, and we have 2 minutes and then we'll start a new one. I think really I want to close with this on the Eagles. I think yes, obviously it's been a struggle. You compare the last couple of seasons with you Kellen Moore, Brian Johnson, Stain Sheichen. Um, all of those guys struggled as an OC within their first couple of games, their first few weeks. You got to think about it. Last year, they won a Super Bowl. Those first 6 weeks, they wanted Nick Sirianni and Kellen Moore fired.
that's true.
Like they wanted them fired, without a doubt, wanted them fired. So
They want to Nick Sirianni out of there.
out of there. So I think there's a lot of time to turn it around. Um, they've shown flashes of what they can be. Obviously, you know what they can be looking at on paper, and obviously they just won a Super Bowl. Like you know what they can be. It's just tapping into that. I think they all need to get on the same page. I think they need to get healthy as well. Not having Nolan Smith, not having Jalen Carter for that game, not having Quinyon Mitchell for that game because he went down in the beginning of the second quarter. N'Kobe Dean still is not back.
But
Uh,
why? My question is, why is Cooper DeJean not at DB if you know Adoree Jackson can't play or
Preseason,
Kelly Ringo?
I don't, Vic Fangio preseason said basically that Cooper DeJean doesn't have enough NFL ready snaps at cornerback for him to trust him there,
He
which,
had a pick six against the greatest quarterback in the league in the Super Bowl.
and
Like, what you talking about?
I think they want to keep him at nickel. I don't know. I really don't know.
You
Yeah,
got to switch him. I mean, Adoree Jackson looks like he's never played a snap of football. It's like Bradbury. Like Bradbury was that bad where he was getting burnt every single. I'm pretty sure if you asked any Philly fan if they were happy that Bradbury was hurt last year, they would have said thank you
yeah,
because they probably wouldn't have won it if he was their still number one corner.
for sure. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. And then lastly, before we start this new one, I think ultimately, the Eagles will be fine. A lot of you look at NFL teams this year, like we haven't seen the greatest of football within the NFL right now.
Yeah.
There's a few teams playing very well, and then that's it. So it's like I think they'll be fine. I think they will. So all right. Yeah. Moving on to our Detroit Lions in Kansas City, that game. Obviously, what happened during the game, but also post game, Brian Branch and Juju Smith-Schuster. Brian Branch running up, not running, walking up to Juju. Juju kind of taunting him and then just flat out punching him. Um, and then Juju running back, trying to hit him back. And then a big scuffle, brawl, whatever you want to call it, breaks out. Uh, thoughts
You
on
got his
that?
ass. First of all, Juju got his ass. Pause. Pause. I said, "Oh my goodness." um, first off, uh, man, so many things to say about this. I'm not gonna sit up here and complain about a lot of stuff. You know, the golf thing getting called back, and then there were a lot of penalties that should have been called in general. Uh, Very reminiscent of kind of like the Dallas game where there should have been penalties and then there wasn't, and the refs kind of screwed
Yep.
us in the end. At the same time, the scuffle at the end, I don't obviously shouldn't be starting a fight, shouldn't be punching people in the face. But what is Juju Smith Schuster doing, first of all? I mean, listen, it, here's what happened for people who don't know, they're watching this. Pat Mahomes rushes for a touchdown earlier in the game, and he points at Brian Branch and taunts him a little bit. Points at him, goes like this, starts looking at him. He
He
started
pointed at him, flexed on him.
like,
I swear he was grabbing his nuts while he was flexing.
bro, he was flexing on him. So Brian Branch later in the game's coming to an end. It's it's a rushing play on the right side of the field. Brian Branch is on the left side. He gets blocked in the back, literally shoved by Juju,
Yeah.
pushed in the back. So obviously, it should be a foul if you're getting pushed in the back just randomly. That's obviously a personal foul,
Yes.
15 yards,
Yep.
and he doesn't get called. So at the end of the game, Patrick Mahomes wants to act all friendly and cool after flexing on him. Like, come on, man. Like don't act all cool now. And, Brian Branch has he has the right not to shake his hand. He walks past. He doesn't get up in his face and start swearing at him. He doesn't say anything to him. He just walks away, right? And Juju Smith-Schuster comes up acting like he's Mr. Tough. Like, Juju, first of all, here's what I got to say about Juju. All right. You were on the team, 2023, 2022. I can't remember what year. Then they dropped you because they thought you weren't worth it, because you weren't worth nothing to the Chiefs at all. You go to New England. New England realizes you're not jack squat, and then the Chiefs invite you back because they have nobody. There's a reason why you're no longer in Pittsburgh. There's a reason why New England didn't want you. All right, so don't start acting cool. Like, you are the one guy on the presentation in school who gets an A+ and is the best in the class, and you have done the most minimal work. You put your name on the assignment, and you stood up in front of the class, and you looked at everybody else to know what to say. That's who Juju Smith-Schuster is. He doesn't do
Yep.
anything impactful. And so, listen, Brian Branch shouldn't have started a fight. Yeah, shouldn't have tossed him around. And sometimes his emotions gets the better of him. So be it. But don't come trying to protect your quarterback when you're not Mr. Toughness. Like, it just, there's no reason to act cool at the end of the game. You're flexing on people and then pushing people in the back. I
Yeah.
mean, and, we have a group chat with Lunga, and everyone remembers Lunga. And he's always he's a Mahomes. He's on his knees for Mahomes. That boy loved Mahomes. He loved him some Mahomes boy. Let me tell you.
Pissing me off.
And listen, it's what happens in the league. The top teams with the best quarterback get the benefit of the doubt with the call every single time. This is the same thing with Tom Brady. When Tom Brady was playing, he would look at a ref, and the ref would throw the flag because otherwise Tom Brady would walk up screaming and cussing. Now,
Yep.
Mahomes may not do that, but Mahomes always looks for the flag every single time he thinks there's a flag. Where's the flag at?
Hmm.
So it's just reminiscent. The league does this thing where, they have their cash cow, their golden boy, and they gotta keep the money rolling. They gotta keep the viewership up, and so they give them the benefit of the doubt. They give them the calls. I mean, like, it's happened to us before, so it's not like I was super frustrated with it all because I've seen it happen to the Lions. But at the end of the day, it's like, don't act all friendly and nice to everybody after you're doing all this stuff, and then everyone's calling the Lions crybabies. Like, can a brother be upset about a loss? Can a
I,
brother be upset? Like, genuinely, can I literally be upset about something like this? And so I really just didn't like how everybody was like, "Well, the Lions are crying." Louis Riddick got out in front and was like, "Lions shouldn't be crying about this, and you got to turn the page." It's like, when something like that happens and then a loss happens and it shouldn't happen the way it should, you have the right to go on national television and say what you want about it. it's over now, and we're getting ready for the next game. But Monday, Tuesday, you're allowed to talk about how the officiating looked to New York, and they told us one thing, and another thing happened. We're allowed to complain where people are acting all, in the game, they're pushing people in the back and flexing on you, and then they want to say, "Oh well, it was a great game." I really just come on, man. So it's just what the Chiefs are. Nobody really likes them, and maybe I sound a little biased, but it's like the Dodgers in baseball. Don't come shaking our hands after you start screaming and talking about let's ruin baseball. Don't do that. Don't act all friendly after.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I think I just thought it was really interesting all the missed calls, reviewing a play that is just not reviewable. And then saying, "Oh yeah, no, we didn't get the call from New York." And then you have Dan Campbell saying, "Yeah, someone told me they got the call from New York." Um, I just think it's really interesting. And then the NFL Films comes out with a video like singling out Brian Branch, like, and
What they
then
say, hit
deleting it.
squad or something like that?
It was something like that. Yeah, I don't know. And then they
They try to
go,
make him seem like he was a
yeah,
bad guy. And
like,
meanwhile, I don't want to get into it, but meanwhile, the Chiefs literally have a receiver who was suspended for specific reasons.
and then
Like,
then
don't
Mahomes
act.
and then Mahomes wants to come post game talking about we do everything right between the lines outside of the like,
No,
shut
he
up.
said he said between the whistles. He specifically said between the whistles, we do everything right. No, you're getting a little help, buddy. You're getting a slight extra push.
Like, shut up. And then I just, yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was real interesting in that aspect. A lot of misholdings, things like that, whatever. I mean, yes, did we play bad? Of course, but it's just, I
Well, our
don't
whole
know.
second, that's the other thing people are failing to mention. They're like, well, the Lions lost the Chiefs. Buddy, we didn't have our whole secondary. We didn't
Exactly.
have we didn't have DJ Reed. We didn't have Terry Arnold. We didn't have Rakestraw. We didn't have anybody. Our
Kirby,
our
Kirby was out for like a whole quarter. Like,
oh boy, they gave that boy horse tranquilizers. He couldn't walk. He
no,
came back up humping and just jumping, and I
bro,
said, "Well, they pumped him full of horse tranquilizers."
bro, he was, I'm telling you.
And now he's
So,
out for this week. So
yep,
like that
yep,
just tells you that he was hurt. Our whole secondary is injured. Now we don't even have both our safeties. I mean, this upcoming game is going to be, oh my goodness, it's going to be a hard watch because
yeah.
still no DBs. Still, our two safeties and starting DBs are out, and we got the number one front runner for MVP walking in our building. So it's going to have to be a shootout.
Yep. So I actually want to shift gears now because I was going to bring up what you're what like looking into this week and this slate this week, what are you looking at the most? I think mine is Detroit Tampa. Um Obviously trying to see how Detroit responds from last week. It's a Monday night game, a primetime game. Tampa obviously being the number one team in the NFC right now at 5-1. I think that's the most interesting match to watch. I think it is. Detroit it's a must win for Detroit. I think it's a must win for Detroit. You don't want to go down 4-3 on the year. And you want to prove also that you're still that in the NFC. You are still them guys. Um, because Tampa's nothing to play with. Tampa's
Yeah.
nothing to play with. Tampa's a really good team. So I that's what I'm most looking forward to this week.
And that specifically, I'm definitely looking at the Detroit offense because, like I said, no starting safeties, no starting corners. It's going to
Mhm.
be a shootout. Baker's the MVP so far right now, at least in my eyes.
Yeah.
Um, and so I think that it's going to have to be a shootout. The offense is going to have to be on their P's and Q's. Like everything's going to have to go right. Morton's going to have to call the right plays. We're going to have very, very few three and outs.
Yeah.
Mike Evans is coming back for them. They might have Ibuka. He's a game time decision. So it really just depends on how our offense does. If it's still very lackadaisical and we're okay and we're not like Goff is going to have to really shoot it out with
Yep.
Baker.
Yep.
For the sake of the discussion, I'll go another team. Um, I'm gonna go Colts Chargers.
I like that one.
I think the Colts, this is their first time to really prove that they haven't been playing anybody of noteworthy in the last 6 games, except for the Rams. They
Yeah,
they played
exactly.
the Dolphins, the Broncos, and the Broncos. You can stamp that. Except for a leverage penalty, they might lose that. And Titans, Rams, who I said, Raiders, and Cardinals. That's their 5-1 record. So you got 5 wins against some of the worst teams in the league, literally. Like, like legit,
Oh,
some of the
yeah.
worst teams.
No, for real.
So this is going to be one of the first times that you're going to have to be playing a real, true good team. Now the Chargers, I'm going to be looking for the offensive line because they really Justin Herbert. I mean, they had a shootout, and apart from a magnificent play last week where he got away from a pass rusher and completed a pass to McConkey, they might have lost to the Dolphins.
Yeah,
So, and
exactly.
I call him if man, but no alt, no Slater for the year, and so it's kind of like, can he do it? But that's the NFL. You're gonna have guys that are hurt. You're not always gonna have a full healthy offensive line. You got to be able to do it. And so, in your building, so like I said, Daniel Jones is also up for MVP. He's in that top 5 discussion for sure. He's playing out of
Mhm.
his mind. Can he go into that building, sling it out, and just absolutely dominate? Can they do it with Jonathan Taylor, who's been having a really good year? I really like that matchup. So that's a game that's going to be really interesting. I never thought I'd really be saying I want to watch a Daniel Jones game, but here we are, 2025 with the Colts. Um, yeah, I mean that's what I got. There's also 2 other games that are pretty interesting: the Eagles, Vikings, and Rams, Jaguars. Rams
Yeah,
Jaguars is really interesting because it's on a neutral field in London.
that's the one I was.
So
That's the one I was going to point out was that Rams Jags game. Yeah,
yeah, neutral field really makes it really interesting
yeah,
because you're overseas and it's a Sunday morning. So can Trevor Lawrence actually do it?
dude, I swear they've had Jacksonville go to London every single year. I swear.
They they gotta have connections. They gotta have
I
something going
swear.
on.
They've been like,
Shad
oh, let's throw Jacksonville to London again. Like,
Shad Khan have got to be paying top dollar to put them in London, bro. He got to have London friends
bro,
and
I
rich
swear
them.
they've been in London every year.
And then just for the sake of the discussion, the battle that should be flexed to 2065, the Dolphins and the Browns, bro. That should be banned from your local television. The identical quarterbacks, both left-handed quarterbacks who are
Oh,
unathletic, undersized, and suck and
yeah,
are
that's
terrible at the podium. Both quarterbacks, when you put a microphone in front of them, it's like they both have CTE when you put a microphone.
bro.
Dylan Gabriel said, I'm used to getting hit because my mom beat my ass as a kid. And he literally said that on live TV. And then he was like, haha, it's a joke. And then Tua said, yeah, we got guys showing late to player only meetings. Buddy, you threw 3 picks. What you talking about? We
Bro,
got 2 stupid idiots who
bro,
don't know how to play football, both commanding teams. And they said the wind gusts are going to be like from 40 to 60 miles per hour. So
oh,
you're going to see footballs fly and take dives. It's going to be
bro.
the worst game of all time. I'm telling you, this game should be flexed to the next century.
I'm looking at ESPN right now. It says tickets as low as $18. $18 to go watch them.
Bro,
Um,
I
we
like
we call it the Pipsqueak Bowl. Pipsqueak
even
Bowl.
with that smell.
That's nail. Ooh. Sure stink, don't it? Ugh. Yeah, no, that's gonna be a nasty
That's
one.
the doodle bowl.
That's
That's
gonna be a
just
nasty
could be
one.
some bad football played.
It's gonna be a real nasty
Some
one.
bad football.
All right. I guess it's pick time then. We'll start with one of the matchups that we kind of premiered, Los Angeles versus Jacksonville. Rams Jags in London, 9:30 a.m. Who you got?
I gotta know. Oh, yeah, Puka's out.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna go Matthew Stafford. I mean, give me the Rams. I just
Okay.
believe in them more. Even with Puka out, I feel like they'll still use the rest of their lineup pretty well.
Okay. Um, I think I got Jags. Puka himself. Like Puka is a huge difference maker for that offense. I mean, obviously, you still got Devontae, Kyron Williams, whatever, Matthew Stafford, obviously, a great quarterback in this league. But I just like what Jacksonville's been doing. They've picked up some key wins this year. They look good. They look really good. So
They
I'm
are
gonna go.
coming off a bad loss, so that might be a
And
better
they're
pick.
and yeah, and they're coming off, a bad loss. So I think they turn it around this week. I think they'll get the Rams. And then that's just tough for LA. Like they got to play a 9:30 a.m. Eastern time game.
You know what's also weird? I heard that they arrive. Most teams that are overseas, they arrive early in the week so that they can practice. They arrived, I think, to like this morning, like this morning. I think
The
that's what
Rams?
her. Yeah, that's a report I heard. They arrived like this morning, like
Oh,
Saturday morning.
that's dumb.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is. So I might go with the Jags, but for the sake of it, I'll go with Rams. I think they'll probably lose, but
For sure. New Orleans, Chicago.
Chicago. I mean, shout out Hector. What's his name? Caleb Williams has been on a roll. If he wins this, there'll be a 4 game win streak. I think a 4 game win streak or a 3 game win streak, something like that.
Three. Yeah, it's a three.
Um, Spencer Rattler got his win out of the way, his mandated win, and now they got to play at Chicago. And Caleb's playing with a little confidence. So yeah, I'm going to give Chicago.
Oh, they're on the 3 game win streak, so yeah, it would be four if they
Yeah,
miss. Yeah, I got, the Bears, unfortunately. They 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 surprised me in
yeah.
Washington. Um,
Well, let's okay. I don't want to give him too much credit. Jaden Daniels threw a bad red zone pick and then fumbled the ball, just completely botched the snap. So if he doesn't botch a snap, we're talking about them at 2-3.
that's true. But again, as a quarterback, can't do that. So, um, still, surprised me. I think, yeah, I think they get that one. I think that's easy. Yeah, I don't want them to get it, but I think they'll get it, unfortunately. Yeah, Pipsqueak Bowl, Miami, Cleveland.
I'm going with a tie. Both teams lose. It don't matter what happened. It doesn't matter what happened.
I,
Final score might be 3-3. So I'm going tie. I'm not even picking between that. That's Dylan Gabriel, and they're like carbon copy. They're carbon copy teams. Think about it. Well, not really. I mean, the defense for Cleveland is better, but 2 offensive coaches, the quarterbacks are the same. Teams are in a
yeah,
similar spot. I'm going tie. Not picking.
gotcha. I'm gonna go with um I'm gonna go with
The loser of this game is going to say something crazy on TV the next day. They're going to say something crazy.
I'll just go with Miami, I guess. I don't know. I mean, just both 1-5, like it's just terrible. So I'm gonna go with Miami. Why not? Why not? We're not gonna talk about that.
Whoever loses this, their CTE is going to activate in a different kind of way. Going to get up in front of that podium and start saying crazy
They're gonna start
things.
tripping, bro. New England, Tennessee. I got New England.
Uh, yeah, that's pretty easy. Tennessee just fired their head coach, got an interim,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Vrabel wants blood. I think he's a revenge game. He's coming in there to
Oh yeah.
stomp his
Oh
foot
yeah.
on Tennessee.
Absolutely. So yeah, I got New England.
You know
Last
what's funny? We did our preseason kind of predictions. I had a lot more faith in the Titans than I think I should have. I think one of my picks was like they were going to potentially be a contender for winning of the division.
you did say that.
Boy was I wrong. That was the coldest take of all time.
Tweaker. That's a tweak right
Yeah,
there.
that was a preseason tweaker of the week.
Raiders, Chiefs.
Yeah, that's easy. I mean, at Chiefs, that's Chiefs.
Yeah.
Gino is, oh my goodness, Gino's one of the worst quarterbacks in the league right now. So yeah.
Yeah. I think Chiefs as well. Unfortunately, I think they found their groove a little bit. Rashee Rice is back as well. So I got Chiefs in that one. Philly, Minnesota at Minnesota.
It's actually a really tough one. Uh, is JJ back? If JJ's back,
Uh,
And
Carson Wentz is starting.
he is
Yeah.
okay. Uh, this is really a coin flip because Philly could really be trash, and if Carson Wentz is just steady, they can win. Give me the Vikings. I think the Eagles continue their terrible offensive outing, and Carson Wentz is stable. He can get you 17 to 20 points a game, and the Eagles' offense is just inept right now. So give me Vikings.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think I got Philly. I think I'm probably a little insane for picking that because of how they've been playing. But like I don't know. I got Philly.
Also, that Vikings defense is one of the best in the league. Like Flores is
Well,
insane in
they
this.
are good. They're just not that good against the run, which obviously the Eagles aren't have not been running the ball well. But I don't know. I think get your
I
run
mean,
game.
Saquon might be due for a breakout game.
That's what I'm saying. Get your run game established again. Get Saquon his breakout game so he can get back locked in. I don't know. I like Philly with that one. Um, Carolina versus the Jets. Panthers, Jets.
Yeah, give me Panthers. Ah,
I got the Panthers for sure.
you know what? For the sake of Jake not being here, I get the Jets get their first win.
Oh
They
boy.
won't, but I'm gonna go with the Jets.
He said they
They
won't.
bro, they had negative 10 net passing yards last week. How does that
Yeah,
even happen? How are you
no,
that bad?
that was crazy work. Yeah, no. Aaron Glenn's gonna get canned. Um, that's what he
Come on
gets.
back. Come on back, baby. Come on back. I like
Probably
Kelvin Shepard, but
take, yeah,
yeah, he shouldn't have taken the Jets job. He should have said, nah, I ain't gonna take my coaching career with that.
exactly, bro. So, yeah, no, I got Carolina. I like Carolina. Carolina shows flashes, man. Rico Dowdle, has been going
But it's
insane.
only at home. That's the weird
McNary,
thing. They're only elite at home. They beat
yeah,
Dallas at home. They beat the Falcons by 30 at home. And then they
yeah,
go to
it
and then they
was,
go to places and then they suck on them.
yeah. So I could see them kind of falling apart in New York, but I don't think so. New York's just bad. They're just bad. So prayers for Jake. Giants, Broncos. I got Broncos with this one.
Yeah, Nick Bonito is the front runner for DPOY, and Sertain is still elite, still the best corner. And they're playing at Broncos. Yeah, give me Broncos.
Yeah, for sure. Um, Colts, Chargers, another matchup we premiered.
That's a tough one. Uh,
This is a tough one.
has the Colts defense been good? Because I feel like that's what it all hinges on.
The Colts defense has been good, yeah. But then again, I mean, like you kind of mentioned in the preview, they haven't really played much, which I
It's
agree
true.
with. I mean, they've played the Rams in Denver, so and they lost to the Rams.
Give me the Chargers. I think they're at home, so I think that gives them the edge.
Yeah, I got Chargers too. Chargers, they're wearing their Charger Power alternates, the all
Yeah,
yellows. So
like a
why not?
highlighter.
I I know. I know. Um, yeah, I got Chargers as well. I think Indy gets exposed this game. The Chargers defense is really good as well. I really
Yeah,
like their defense. So yeah, I like LA in that one. Washington at Dallas.
it's hard because the Dallas defense is trash,
Yeah, they're not
but
good.
Dak's been balling,
Dak.
and
Oh,
I feel like the Commanders. I don't. I feel like it's gonna be the Commanders. I don't think Jay Daniels can let them go under 500. I think that Cowboys defense is not good enough to stop him fully. And I also think Dak is gonna have to throw for like 400 yards and four TDs for them to win the game.
yeah, for sure. I can see that one. Debo is out, which is a little
Wait,
impactful.
is Terry still out? Oh yeah, Terry's still out too.
Harry is out as well.
No,
Uh,
give me the. I hate picking the
I'm
Cowboys.
I'm still gonna take Washington. I think Debo wasn't much of a factor last week. in their game against Chicago. Obviously, I know they lost that game, but he wasn't much of a factor. So I think Washington can produce without him, especially against this Dallas defense.
And that run, Jacoby Crosby Merritt has been playing out of his mind, and I think also Jane Daniels' run game. They're going to get that run game straightened out
Yeah,
and work in the fold. But yeah, getting Washington.
I like Washington. Green Bay at
That boy
Arizona.
Josh said the NFC run through us.
No,
No, it doesn't.
stop it. Stop it. Green Bay at Arizona. I got Green Bay.
Yeah, unfortunately, Arizona, even with Jacoby Brissett, they're probably better with Jacoby Brissett than they are with Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
But Packers are going to win that. They're just too good. You know the one thing about them that's really interesting? Micah has done nothing this season. He has half a sack.
Yeah.
He has. They're the same team as they were last year with him. Now, like same amount of pressures. He has half a sack. He's really doing nothing. But their defense is still one of the best. Like even with or without him, is still one of the best. But he hasn't done anything this year at all.
Yeah. No, um Micah's been disappointing. I think I think something I don't know. I don't want to speak for every offense and how they game plan, but I think because he is such of a huge factor, I think a lot of teams game plan obviously around Micah.
True.
Um I think it's been like I think he's been getting double teamed and triple teamed a lot.
Very
And that's
true.
like a huge factor. So but yeah, no, but yeah, he hasn't done too much. Um, I don't know. I think maybe it's just the adjustment. I mean, that is kind of tough going to a new team a week before the season starts. So I think it also may be the adjustment. I think maybe now we could start seeing him getting acclimated, getting adjusted, and kind of making a bigger impact than what he has been. Sunday night football, Atlanta at San Fran. I have Atlanta.
Yeah, they still got Mac Jones. Brock Purdy is.
I've
I
got
said
it.
don't pay that man 60 million. I said it. He's not worth that much.
Yeah,
He's injured, very injury prone. Got hurt the second week. Tried to come back, played terrible, and then got hurt again.
yeah,
And I said, I was the first. I was like, you can pay him, just you can't pay him a whole lot of money. He's not a franchise guy. He's very average in height, average arm, average athletic. He's just an average guy. That's why he was drafted in the seventh round. I
yeah.
mean, you had the Avengers. That's why you got to the Super Bowl because you literally had the Avengers. You
Yep.
traded away one of them. One of them got hurt and hasn't played yet. And you have McCaffrey, and then Kittle's hurt still, and Trent looks their best offensive lineman. He looks old. He's like
Yep.
36 or something, so he's gonna retire very soon. So you wasted all that money, and now you're grasping at straws. And Fred Warner ankle got obliterated, so he's out for the season. And no Bosa. Your whole team is hurt.
Cook.
So barbecue chicken,
Cook.
and you got nothing. So Falcons off of a real good win off of Josh Allen. I think they go ahead and take that one.
Yeah, like the Falcons. All right. Monday Night Football, Tampa Bay, Detroit. That's a 7 o'clock game. Uh,
Oh boy, yeah, I'm gonna go Bucks. I hate picking against my team, but I can't see them winning a primetime game with no secondary, literally no starting corners and no starting safeties at all. Three of those guys are hurt. One of them is suspended, so like Baker's gonna have field day. Barbecue. Well, he might have 500 yards on us. It's bad.
bro, it's going to be interesting. Um, if if I'm not mistaken. I know Bucky Irving will be out. I know Chris Godwin will be out. Egbuka got hurt. I don't think he's going to play. I think there's still
He's
optimism.
yeah, he's
I think
game
that's the
time.
report. I think that's the report right now. There's optimism. I don't I don't
They
think
got
Chris,
Mike back. They got Mike back.
but Mike is back. That's a problem.
Mike with no Mike with no secondary, bro.
That's
He's going for that 1,000 yard mark again. He might go
uh,
ahead and drop 300 on us.
it's a problem for sure.
It might be Megatron 2.0 in Detroit.
It's a problem. I'm gonna go with Detroit. I've gone against the Lions too much, and they're my team. I feel like I owe it to them to pick them for this game. I think I think there's injuries on both sides, so I think a huge factor is just who wants it more, and I think it's going to be Detroit. It's in Detroit. They're pissed off about they're absolutely pissed off from last week.
I think the
So
X factors are defensive line because we got absolutely zero pressure on
for
Patrick
sure,
Mahomes.
for sure,
And
the X
so
factor.
I think that that's gonna piss them off that what happened last week, and then
And
Hutch might just try and put Baker in the ground.
Aleem McNeil is back.
Yeah,
So I like Detroit. Give me Detroit. And then last but not least, a little bit kind of least, Houston at Seattle for a 10 o'clock Monday night game. I
first of
got
all, as a prequel to the tweaker of the week, Roger Goodell, stop putting double headers on prime time spots.
yeah.
Nobody wants to sit up here at 10 p.m. on a Monday when you got work the next morning and you want to watch Seattle and Texas and the Texans go at it. That's a great matchup. Even though the Texans aren't playing like a great team and CJ isn't great, stop doing that.
Yeah, I
All
mean,
right,
you're just taking a hit to your ratings at that point.
like
So
people are gonna go to sleep because that game by the time it's halftime, people are gonna be like they're gonna be passed out and asleep. Like,
yeah,
why would you do that? Just make that a Sunday game, if anything. Like, what are we doing? And
I
it's West Coast, so you have
I,
to start it later.
I hate those games because it's like damn near midnight and it's like the second half is just starting and it's damn near midnight. So yeah.
And half the time I'm not even paying attention because I'm doing other stuff or I'm about to go to sleep.
Yep. Yep.
Uh, Give me Seahawks at home. Uh, CJ hasn't been playing the best, and I think that he's gonna figure it out at some point. I just think that it's not going to be against this team. Your defense is really good, minus Tariq Woolen, and offense is really good. And Sam Darnold, has been playing out of his mind. I thought he was going to have a little regression. He has had none. So, Seattle.
Yeah, I got Seattle as well. Yeah, I mean, Sam Darnold, like you said, he's been balling. Um, I don't know. I kind of like how Seattle's been playing this year. I mean, I don't know. I feel like they're a little on off sometimes, but overall, they've been, pretty well. So,
I mean, their two losses have been combined 7 points. One to week one, and then when against Tampa, who has been out of their
yeah,
minds.
true, true. Yeah, yeah.
All right, we got 5 minutes. You want to do another one or just get this tweaker of the weekend here?
No, that's the end of the picks. So let's do
No, for
tweak.
tweaker of the week.
Oh yeah, let's just do a quick tweaker of the week.
All right.
I got
Tweaker of the week. Mine is going to be the Dodgers and the entire Dodgers. Apart from the players, I'm going to go general manager, owner, Dave Roberts, the head manager, and I'm going to go the fandom. Everybody hates the Dodgers because they're literally going to ruin baseball. And I'm going to explain this very carefully. There is no salary cap in baseball, but there is an understanding that you don't spend as much money as possible to grab every single player. Now, if you go on Twitter and you go to the Dodgers Twitter, which I'm somehow on, and I open up Twitter and I see Dodgers fans talking out their ass, and it's pissing me off. They keep talking about, well, if your owner cared, he would spend money on the players. It's not that our owners don't care. It's
yeah,
that some of the owners don't care. But it's that when you go get first ballot Hall of Famers to take over half your team, that's when you're literally crossing the boundary of what baseball is. When
yeah.
you go get Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman and then Shohei Ohtani, when you go get Tyler Glasnow, who's an ace, Blake Snell, who has 2 Cy Young, is going to make the Hall of Fame, Yamamoto, who literally had the Japanese equivalent of a Cy Young 3 years in a row in another country and is one of the best pitchers on the planet. And then, not to mention, Shohei Ohtani, who's Babe Ruth 2.0, and then you use him in your lineup in your starting rotation, and then on top of that, you guys don't understand. You're in LA. It's the closest thing to Japan. Every Japanese player is going to want to play for the Dodgers, especially
Yep.
when Shohei is there and you're already winning rings. They're going to literally want to come to you. It's not that you're paying for players, it's that you're paying for the most elite players. And you're getting them all in fire sales. It's like,
Yep.
well, the Tampa Bay Rays don't want Glass now because they're bad. Well, we'll take them. And the thing about baseball is you don't have to gut your roster to get players. You literally just have to trade maybe top guys in the minor leagues. So it's like if I have a guy in the minor leagues who can play for us, but I can bunch him with a bunch of picks and other players and go get an ace, I'm just going to go do that. And then I'm going to offer him $100, $200 million because I'm the Dodgers and I'm throwing money willy nilly around. That's how you get a roster that quite literally has four aces. You sweep the Brewers, and you have a lineup that's so elite it doesn't matter. Like this is what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. I see Dodgers fans talking about, oh, the Giants spend money and the Red Sox have spent money. Well, yeah, but they're not throwing money at first ballot Hall of Famers who are coming off contracts from other teams. That's not
Exactly.
what people are doing. Yeah, I understand your owner wants to spend money. The Mets want to spend money, but they're not just paying for every single player's salary and just saying, we'll take that ace and we'll take that ace and we'll trade for that ace. And then we know we can offer him $200 million because our owner is just going to start throwing money around. And
Yeah.
now, guess what? There's going to be a lockout because there's literally now going to be a salary cap. That's the one thing that has made baseball unique from the NBA, the NFL, and the NHL is quite literally a salary cap. And it's really pissing me off that they don't seem to understand it and grasp the straws. And
Yep.
so they're not bringing guys up from the minor leagues. They're not using other guys. They're just paying for players, first ballot Hall of Famers and guys who are literally the best in the league. So when I tell you it's really pissing me off, I mean, the arrogance that they have to just flaunt it around too. They asked Dave Roberts, he's like, well, our ownership just wants to spend money on our players. No, you're literally grabbing players from other teams that are unfortunate enough to understand. The Angels suck in general. Why would they spend $700 million on one player? The Tampa Bay Rays suck. Why would they pay for Tyler Glass now for $100 million? The Giants, Blake Snell was going to opt out of his contract. Why would you? Why would they pay? Why would he opt in with the Giants if he wanted a bigger deal? These are the things that I'm talking about that people don't seem to understand within the Dodgers organization, and they just act like it's nothing. This is why earlier in the year, Rob Manfred, the commissioner, walked into Philly's locker room and literally said, "Hey, let's talk about the salary cap." And Harper literally told him, "Get out of our
Get out
clubhouse."
of it.
He
Get out of
literally
it.
said, "Get out of here. Nobody wants to talk about a salary cap, and you're going to cause it. You're literally going to cause a sport to completely change."
Yep.
So it's ridiculous.
We got less
Um,
than a minute left. I'm gonna go just quick. Chris Ilitch, Scott Harris, count your fucking days. How are what a 230 million gap between Schoolboy and the Tigers? How does that happen? And then don't even get me started on pulling them in the sixth inning. Don't get me started on that. I'm still pissed. All right, I'm still pissed about that. So I'm going those. It's crazy. Absolutely insane, out of this world. Pay your guy. That's all. Pay your guy. If you're gonna let Scuba walk, I've given up all faith, all hope.
they're not gonna pay him. They lowballed him for a reason.
I
He's the
just
best pitcher in the world, and there's no reason why you should offer him less than $100 million.
I
It was
will,
a slap in the face to basically say we're not going, and they might trade him mid-year, which is gonna disgust me even more.
bro. I'll literally chip in, bro. I'll chip in.
I'm
Swear.
pretty sure the whole state would chip in to pay for his salary. So I give my entire bank account for school to stay with the Tigers. But
Bro,
it's Max Scherzer all over again. This is what happened with Max Scherzer. They basically were like, "No, we're not going to pay you all that big money." He basically went to the Nationals and won more Cy Youngs away from the Tigers and two World Series outside the Tigers than he
bro.
did with us. Um, I think the problem also with the Tigers is that we need to pay actual bats.
Yeah.
That's my thing for
Yeah.
your tweak of the week as well. We quite literally had one of the worst lineups I ever seen in the playoffs.
Yeah, that offense
Every
atrocious.
every other player was an automatic out. Like Parker Meadows comes up, I'm looking at my dad like it's an out.
Look,
Colt Keith comes up. I told you in the game. I said please bench Colt Keith. He's not hitting. And guess what? You're gonna let that man swing the bat 4 times and he will strike out like 3 of those times. What are you doing? That's also on AJ Hinch. Like, what are we doing? What are you doing? Like you got men on and you can't push runs across because you got several. I mean, Cole Keith, okay, Cole Keith didn't play in the wild card series. He was hurt for the last month of the regular season. You put him in the starting lineup, and then a winner take all game, you put him in the 3 slot. He didn't do jack squat all series long, and then you have 2 opportunities to scrape runs across the board, and you don't pitch hit for him?
it's literally terrorism at its finest. Like I'm telling you, it is.
Bro,
So
it was like the worst managing job I've ever. We were in the 13th inning, and they were like, the Tigers have all their pinch hitters still in the dugout. I said, yeah. You want to know why? Because AJ Hinch has CTE. He
bro,
doesn't. I think a baseball hit him in the head before the
bro,
season started.
I don't understand, man.
It was really making me mad watching him trying to coach that game. And it's like, my plea for the Tigers, please, please, if we're not going to pay Scooble, if we're not going to pay Tarek Skubal, go get Alex Bregman, go get another bat, go get 3, 4 bats, spend
Yeah,
as much money on a 1-year deal as you can, and
yeah,
let's go ride and try and get one before Skubal goes to another team.
for
Because I
sure.
guarantee you, if Tarek Skubal goes to the Dodgers, I will personally write a letter to Chris Ilitch. I promise you, he will hear from me. I promise you, he will hear from me. He will
What
know my name, my first and last name.
what they say? I've brought. Yeah, I'm not going. I'll never eat Little Caesars again. How about
Well,
that?
I'll tell you what. When we was bad, I boycotted the Tigers because I was like, I asked my dad. I literally didn't watch a Tigers game for 3 years because I couldn't watch them like lose every single game imaginable. And now you're gonna let Tarek Skubal go to another team just because you don't want to pay him? You're a billionaire. You literally own Little Caesars. Pay the man for what he's worth.
Bro,
I,
that
bro,
is
you
crazy.
are a terrorist on baseball if you do not pay him and you are a billionaire.
We should have
He is
all.
worth a fraction of your salary.
We should have all the Little Caesars. We should have all the Little Caesars workers go on strike until he decides to pay Turk
We
school.
have all Tigers workers go on strike. Every usher, every beer salesman, every every peanut
Everybody,
salesman.
everybody in Michigan should strike their workplace. Go on strike for the workplace just because Chris Ilitch. How about that?
We we
Let's
you
make a
know
change.
we all
Let's make a
you know
change.
what you know what we all should do? Take an arson charge and burn down America.
No, see,
bro,
no, see, now
bro,
you're
I'm,
tweaking.
bro,
Now you're
I'm gonna be.
tweaking.
Hey, let Chris Illich not pay Tarek Skubal. I'm gonna be tweaker of the week. Trust and believe. I'm gonna be tweaker of the week. That's my threat. I'm gonna be tweaker of the week. I'm gonna
Oh,
be tweaker of the
bro,
year. You don't
bro.
pay Tarek Skubal.
You're gonna be, oh my gosh,
Bro,
bro.
I'm gonna crash out. You have no idea. If you don't pay Tarek Skubal, I'm gonna be tweaker of the entire century.
Bro,
I
oh,
mean, this team is being held on by a thread, and 25% of it is Tarek Skubal.
you're gonna be running down the brick road outside of Comerica
Bro,
with a
shirt
flamethrower.
flying off, talking about help me, help me.
With a flamethrower. Talking about, oh, you don't want to pay Derek Scuba? Really? You don't want to pay Derek? Okay.
bro, the whole the ticket department torched. Home plate. I'll be standing on home plate screaming at the top of my lungs. Pay him! Pay him! You will know who I
Oh
am.
my gosh.
I will be on the Channel 4 news if you don't pay Tarek School.
Bro, you're gonna be
Trust
on,
and believe.
bro, you're gonna be on ESPN if you don't fucking, bro. Well, the way you're talking, oh shit, you're gonna be on everything. You're gonna be on ESPN, Good Morning America, fucking, bro. You're gonna
I
be
will go on.
everywhere.
I will go on tour to make Chris Illa's life a living hell if you do not pay Tarek School.
Oh,
You better pay him.
man.
So I will personally unite the charge for a strike against the Tigers. I'm not going through another 3 years of a rebuild. I'm not doing it. I was a kid when we went to the World Series and got swept. And that team got dismantled because someone didn't want to fork over the money. And now his stupid son is the owner, and now he doesn't want to pay the money. Like
Yeah,
father, like son. Well,
yeah,
sell the team to somebody who will spend the money.
that's facts. That's facts. Um, yeah, I think we end it there, man. That's all we got. That's all we got. As always, run up socials, TikTok, whatever the case may be, all socials, run them up. Like, comment, subscribe, share this with everybody. Um, and as always, stay fly.